Good evening and welcome to the Chris Salcedo Show here on Newsmax TV. Where does change begin? Does it begin with politicians? Does it begin with the mainstream press? Does it begin with the President of the United States? Does it begin with school superintendents who never set foot in a classroom yet pull down six figures? The answer to all of those questions is a resounding no. Real and lasting change begins with you and me. In short, we the people. What I'm about ready to share with you is love, courage, determination, and good old-fashioned American grit all rolled into one. If our kids won't drive us to act, what will? A snapshot of just how fed up America's parents are with left-wing extremism. That's our focus in tonight's preamble. Many of us have been taken aback at the rapid advancement of socialist and Marxist thought in America in recent years. This downturn can be traced to one of our nation's most catastrophic mistakes, the election of Barack Hussein Obama. Twice, B.O., before Obama, our nation was enjoying relative stability and national pride. Systemic racism was a long faded memory from our distant past. After his election, Marxists seized on divisions Obama created to drive race relations into the toilet in America. But Obama was simply the match. The fuel was at least two generations, perhaps three, of kids that had been groomed to hate, courtesy of the government-run schools. Under the control of treacherous anti-American leftists, the nation's Gov-ed schools pushed poison into our children's brains. These left-wingers bred disrespect for the law and our military. They taught our kids professional victimhood. Gov-ed de-emphasized the teaching of history, math, reading, and science, swapping it all out for critical race theory and left-wing political activism. The infection didn't start in K through 12. The politically correct cancer was passed down from so-called institutions of higher learning like Texas Christian University, TCU just announcing it would no longer use the term freshman to describe a student just beginning his or her college career. Instead, they'll use the term first-year student. Kathy Cavins-Tull, Vice Chancellor for Student Affairs, cackled, quote, "I'm proud that TCU is officially making the commitment to this terminology. It is a reflection of our university-wide commitment to inclusive excellence." So now TCU and other universities like them won't be known for academic excellence, but instead for their inclusive excellence, whatever the hell that is. Good luck winning the worldwide competition with the worthless skill set that comes from being inclusively excellent. Our young adults will be dumber than rocks, but just as woke as LeBron James. Oh, goody. As stated, this cancer of wokeness has turned our nation's Gov-ed schools into little hate-promoting collectivist factories, and parents have had enough up to here. Take, for example, a mom in Carmel, New York. Her video has gone viral after she destroyed the pathetic and apathetic school board over their introduction of anti-American critical race theory.
I think the Board of Education and those sitting on the panels are thieves. I think they're liars and have committed treason against our children. My message to this district and the members of the Board of Ed: stop indoctrinating our children. Stop teaching our children to hate the police. Stop teaching our children that if they don't agree with the LGBT community, that they're homophobic.
This mom is 100% correct. Now, later in that 11-minute video, she asks, what would the pointy-headed school board members and their overpaid superintendents do if parents of America just simply decided to stop paying their taxes to support all the harm that government education is doing? The China virus gave parents a glimpse into the totalitarian nature of Gov-run schools. Parents, some of them for the first time, recognize that Gov-ed schools exist to perpetuate themselves, just like any government entity does. Parents who thought kids were in school to learn were blown away to discover, through remote learning, that their kids were being groomed to be mindless socialist Democrat activists.
You have children like mine who is Muslim, and I'm Christian, and everyone would think, they would never believe that of her, right? Because the way she looks, or according to Miss Cyrus, she's too pasty white.
Government schools have undertaken a hyper-focus on skin color. You know, it's shocking and disgusting that our tax dollars are being used by left-wingers in Gov-ed to destroy Dr. Martin Luther King's dream of a colorblind society. By now, many of you are asking, how does this happen? How can they get away with this? Well, here's how.
We're not allowed to use names. If you have something you'd like to discuss about a specific person, you can call the superintendent or leave your info for her to call you tomorrow.
Why are we not allowed to discuss names? Why am I not allowed when they purposely themselves expose themselves on social media, talking about calling for the death of a former president, or saying that any child that doesn't believe in Black Lives Matter should be canceled out? Is this what my tax dollars is paying for? You're teaching my children and other children that if they believe in God Almighty, they're part of a cult. These educators put their own names out there.
Why not names? Why do committed communists get to indoctrinate our kids under the cloak of anonymity? This mom did the right thing. She had the right attitude. We can't let these anti-freedom forces use our system against us in the same manner that radicalized Islamic terrorists have attempted to do in the past. Sadly, too many parents surrender their child's minds to these mindless rules and arbitrary regulations designed to stop parents from doing what our New York mom was doing right there, calling out bad actors by name.
We have Mr. Barry, who took it upon himself with Miss Cyrus to create a curriculum.
That should be it.
Do you want the proof? I have the proof. You created a curriculum of Black Panther indoctrination.
Ma'am.
You use taxpayers' dollars.
Can I ask you one more time? I have no issue hearing what you have to say, but
why can we not let the public speak? Why can't we let the public know that you're teaching our children to go out and murder our police officers? Do you want the proof? I have the proof. Is that what scares you, the proof? That a parent actually standing up against all of you? Is that what scares you, to call out the names of these people? You work for me. I don't work for you. You have a duty. We are entrusting our children to you.
That's not a bad attitude to have toward our government either. For too long, we have allowed left-wing extremists to claim that they have a right to get their way, and that if we have no right to object, we have no right to push back or complain, even in defense of our own kids. This mom, with love for her kids, has just hit her boiling point. Socialist Democrats' priorities just took a back seat to this mom's dedication to her children.
You're emotionally abusing our children and mentally abusing them. You're demoralizing them by teaching them communist values. This is still America, ma'am. And as long as I'm standing here on this good ground earth of God, I will fight.
Walk out.
And this is not the last of me you will see. I'm retired. I have nothing else better to do. We can do it peacefully, or we can take it to the highest courts, because you know and I know I'm not the only parent fighting this all across America right now. Schools are trying to poison our children's minds, teaching them about things that they have no right to be taught in school.
I have no problem having a peaceful discussion. This is not a peaceful discussion.
No, that's your opinion. See, here we go again. This is peaceful. To me, this is peaceful.
Well,
I'm not burning, looting, and murdering.
Did you hear the cowardly board member there at the beginning who was ready to walk out? That's what happens when patriots stand up to anti-liberty bullies. Did you hear how that other board member tried to claim that our righteous mom here was not being peaceful? When they sense pushback, liberals claim to be victims, even though it is they who are victimizing you and your family. It's the same dynamic that sees a year and a half of riots, looting, beating, and killing in our streets, courtesy of Democrats, BLM, and Antifa terrorists, and no left-wingers held accountable. It is the same dynamic we see when a crazed New York left-wing psychiatrist can tell a Yale School of Medicine audience that she had fantasies of loading a revolver into the head of any white person, and the liberal media ignores it. All of those left-wingers claim they were victims so they can conduct their abuse of us and our kids unabated. It's the same tactic being used by school boards all across America. Frankly, folks, it's BS. and Americans shouldn't surrender our children to it. Our New York mom there isn't a member of Congress. She isn't a social media influencer. She's not a person with a daily TV show. She's a mom. She's a parent. And she's like millions of other moms and other parents out there who are sick and tired of socialist nonsense, ruining the lives of our kids and our society that we have built together. Now, many of you email asking me, hey, what can I do to affect change? Well, why not do what our New York mom just did? Let the love for your kids drive you to push back on these left-wing extremists. The Socialist Democrats are in the process of stealing the American dream. They're in the process of ruining Dr. King's vision, and they're in the process of taking away everything in America that makes it great. How do we stop it? By God, we take it back. Our New York mom just showed us how.
Hey, I'm Rob Finnerty. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please join the conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe, too. Hit the bell icon to be alerted to breaking news. And remember, there's a whole lot more on Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news network. Newsmax TV, we're real news for real people.